Hello, everybody. We're back with another
Oh yeah.
week, another pluggables, because this is what we do. We get out of the way. Get pluggables out of the way.
Yes. We're on YouTube. Chill Vanilla Podcast. Like, subscribe, watch our videos if you miss the live episode. If you're watching on YouTube, we're live every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Twitch.tv/chillvanilla5. We got all the socials and stuff. There's a big QR code. You just put your camera up and it'll link you to all of our junk. If you're audio versions, anchor.fm/chillvanilla5. If you don't want to look at us, you can just listen.
To our
But
beautiful
yes,
voices.
like, subscribe, follow, whatever, depending on the platform you're on, and show
All
your
this,
boys some love.
all the stuff and things. Yeah, exactly. Show us some love, because
Show
we
some
need that
love
shit.
like Futaro.
Welcome back to the Chillin' Vanilla Podcast. Going to review, finally, even though we've been saying we're going to do this shit for, like, a month now. We will be reviewing, finally, the drumroll. Drumroll. Quintessential Quintuplets movie. Da-da-da.
The ending, yay! Finally,
It's the
I've
end of
been
the
waiting for you to
shit.
finish this shit.
Oh my god, yes, I have all the things to say about this shit. We're gonna get into some hot heat. We might get in trouble. People might come attack us. We might get death threats, bro. We may get swatted type shit. Because I'm about to go hard in the fucking paint on this
It
one.
hurt some people's feelings.
Fucking for sure. Yep, our new normal, animation, story, character development, plot development. Shit.
I don't even think we really need to go into the animation and all that good stuff. I mean, it's
Animations,
about the same.
yeah, roughly, yeah. Even though it's a whole fucking it's a Marvel length movie.
Yeah, it was
The fuck?
a long watch.
It's basically like they just slapped like 6 episodes together and said movie. Like, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not mad at it. Yeah, I'm like, I wasn't mad at it. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be over 2 hours long because you're like, it's long as fuck, and I was like, an hour 50 maybe. They almost said 2.5, chief. I was like, god damn.
They had to finish it all off.
True.
They left too much out there.
And they still left a bunch of shit out there. Even at the end of that bitch, because they were like, you know what, fuck it, let's just wrap it up with some bullshit nonsense. But yeah, we'll get to that.
Please, advance notice, major spoiler warnings, because there's no way to
100%.
talk about this without.
Yeah, there's no way to talk about this without spoiling it. So if you don't want to watch, or if you don't want spoilers, fuck out of here.
Go watch the show and then come back.
Yeah, come back and then see the whole shit on YouTube or wherever the fuck. Because pluggables, like and subscribe, be sure to smash that notification bell. Shit. But yeah, so I personally would like to get into character development because it irked me.
All right, good, go sir, go.
A lot of it irked me. So I watched this yesterday, so it's still fresh in my mind. I've had time to mull it over,
I've been mulling for months.
I'm sure. It is character development was weird. If I want to give like a 40,000 foot view of an emotion that it provides, weird. Just because a lot of characters do shit that they haven't done at all in 2 fucking seasons of the show. They just all of a sudden,
that's character development.
But there's development, like gradual development, and then there's like within the same time frame as the other 2 seasons, complete 180. And like just like on the nose, like I have changed because I am now like this now. I have learned the error of my ways, like that. It's
You can't just be saying shit without examples and evidence.
I'm getting to that. So the stepdaddy for the Quints, right? So like he's this like stoic character. You expect him to be this super stoic character, right? He doesn't show emotion. He doesn't like celebrate whenever they do good. He's just like, cool, whatever, do better, basically, right? And I'm like, okay, cool.
You're doing what you should be doing.
Yeah, you're doing what you should be doing anyway. Why the fuck would I celebrate that, right? The whole thing with the mom, where like the last like real meal that they had together with her past was pancakes. Well, you see that affects him. He's like, I don't fucking like pancakes, basically. Like, whenever Nino was a kid, she's like, oh my god, look, pancakes, just like how mom like made them. And he's like, fuck out of here. Like,
That peasant food out of here, boy.
And so she's all butthurt or whatever. They get back to the house. She's like, I knew I hated him. They get back to the house or whatever, and there's all this like all the supplies to like make pancakes, as many as she wants to like practice it or whatever. And she's like, oh my god, he's always been there for me. All of a sudden, even though she absolutely hates him, and it's like, come on, man. And it's
Yeah,
like
that was a little bit weird, and then
it was
just
forced. Yeah, like a lot of the stuff like that was very very fucking forced. The realization that Itsuki has of like she's still dumb as shit, but she wants to be she wants to be a teacher. So it's like, okay, makes sense. Not everybody that's like you don't have to be or go to an Ivy League college to become a teacher. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that. There isn't. Like, but it's showing the fact that like she recognizes that she's human, which honestly, out of all of them, she had the best fucking character arc. Like, plain and fucking simple.
best character arc, but still bottom tier
Yeah, pretty much.
in
Thanks for the
the
follow, Unlucky.
actual. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like, what even were they doing with this? It was such a rushed mess. You could tell because like Yotsuba didn't really have any actual character development.
Well, so okay,
Nino
back
didn't
to
really
their
have any
dad.
actual
Back to their
character
dad, real
development.
quick.
Okay.
I could see him like changing his mind, kind of like maybe at the end of the movie when they're all grown up more, instead of kind of at the end of the school year.
Correct. That
Because
made
that
sense.
would have been different. It would have been like, oh, now you're successful. I see you. You know.
Yeah, you've all gone out into the world and done shit with your lives, contrary to what I expected. Good job for all y'all following your hearts. That part made sense, right? But everything leading to that didn't make any fucking sense. They've
Yeah,
never
because they were
dated a
still
dude.
the same idiots.
Yeah, but it's like they've never dated a dude. And then all of a sudden here comes Futaro. And he's already like super sketched around him, like, hey, I don't fucking like you. Like, why are you near my daughters, basically, right? And so like you better keep it just tutor and student. Otherwise I'm gonna light your shit up. Like that kind of attitude. And then all of a sudden he's like, I'm not gonna be able to finish these pancakes by myself. Come on over, bud. Like, we're best bros now, dog. And I was like, what?
You want to share this pancake with some of this sticky syrup?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I mean, I didn't say I didn't like pancakes, Batman. First off, also welcome. But yeah, especially the super fluffy Japanese pancakes that they be making. Oh my god, that shit was so good.
Yes, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
Those are the ones you slap with a spoon. You're like, who's your daddy?
But yeah, I don't know, man. There's just so much going on that they kept and then the bouncing between thing with like trying to keep track of character arcs, like bouncing between like when they finally see him and he's gonna make his decision, and then he's a dick because he's like, I'm gonna string all of y'all along as possible, and I'll be like, I like all of you. Like what?
That's what he should have done.
Just to piss everyone off. Like yes, like marry them all.
No,
whatever.
that would have made me happy. I'd have been like, smart man.
Marry every single one of them.
There was only three. Okay, there was only three correct options.
100%.
Miku,
yep.
Nino, or all of them. That's it. Those are the only three options that were acceptable.
Well, remember whenever we talked about lists, I was like, or like where we ranked all of them, I was like,
yeah,
like Yotsuba's like number 4, dog. Like, yeah, especially after.
Was 5 for me. Well, Yotsuba was 5 for like
until Ichika did her bullshit.
2, yeah, Ichika pissed me off.
But, yeah, once Ichika did her bullshit, then she got bumped down to like dead last, and so yeah. But I was like, Yotsuba's she's not even top 3, chief. No way.
Yeah. So, yeah, how they went through like the switching between all their different perspectives for the days, it was a little bit hard to keep up with.
That was a pain.
I didn't even realize that's what they were doing until like
the third one. Yep.
I was like, oh shit, they keep going back.
Yeah, like there wasn't any clear, like, of course you get like the vantage point scenario or whatever, like, oh, it's the same story being told from all blah blah blah, right? All these different angles. Cool, sure, not a problem. There are so many better ways to do it than how the fuck they did that shit. It was so bad. And again, we're probably gonna have people, anybody that actually watches this and actually gives a shit. We're gonna have people watch that shit. We're gonna have people sit there and be like, oh well, you know, You understand that they had a very limited amount of time. It looked like they didn't. They could have done an entirely
Two and
new
a half
season.
hours.
Yeah, it was 2.5 hours. You had plenty of time for that shit. Like, so you drag the shit on to where the entire first hour and a half was that, and then all of a sudden you just rushed everything else to get to the point of like,
Well,
okay, we're at the wedding now.
they added a bunch of unnecessary shit too that I really feel like some of it I get. Okay, like the one that I'm like, okay, you could have kept that out was like Futuro's like childhood friend that showed up, and I get where
Thank you.
that came from. I get where it came from because they're like, oh, explaining where Futuro kind of got his drive from, but they could have done that in like season 1 or 2. It didn't even need to be all the way at
100%.
the
They could have
end.
done that shit in season two, whenever they
Just
actually
like a
start.
quick ten
Yeah.
minute thing.
Well, because
And it,
in
but
season two they start realizing, oh, he had like a bad boy side or whatever when he was younger, right? So whenever they'll find out, so that would have been that
yeah,
would have made a lot more sense to do the flashback then, and then especially towards the end of season two, whenever they show Homegirl, of which never see again, right? Because it's Itsuki, so it's
it's
like
always funny watching them get jealous though.
yes, and I'm like, why are you jealous, dog? Nah, it's too late. You lost. You lost to fucking
Yeah.
Yotsuba. She
And then
literally
the
didn't
other
do
one that
anything.
the other one I was worried, like their biological, the quintuplets' biological dad showing
Oh
up. I was
yeah,
like, it's a
mind
little
you,
late for that, Chief.
I called that so far back when they were, oh, he's coming, and I was like, it's the bio dad, 100%. That they're gonna, of course, not forgive, and so it's not like stepdad has
I
any
feel like they could
competition
have
with this dude.
put him in the story better. Like I feel like back in like season 1-ish, 2-ish, when they were kind of fighting with their stepdad, I
Yeah,
feel like that's when they could have probably brought him in to make more tension with the scenario.
yeah.
But at the point when they brought him in, it was kind of just like just a waste of 10, 15
That's what I
minutes.
mean by it being garbage storytelling, just like you said. Perfect. They could have brought his ass in during that whole spat that they were having with the them and the dad and them moving out of the fucking loft and all that
Yeah,
shit,
when they
right?
moved out of the condo or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
And then all of a sudden they bump into what if they bump into Bio Dad at the store or some shit, right? Out shopping
Yeah.
like Futaro, and it's like, oh, I see you met a boy. Who the fuck are you? Oh, I'm your dad. What? And then there's this big climactic, like, who's it gonna be? Who are you gonna choose?
Yeah.
Whenever the winner comes
I
to
feel
the
like
movie,
yeah.
that would have been dope. Instead, they were like, let's shoehorn this motherfucker in this bitch for all of us, smooth 5 minutes, and then be like, all right, deuces, he's gone.
Just to get burned out of the
Yeah,
had
fucking
Itsuki come out
ridiculous.
there and like don't even know who we are, bitch.
Yeah, whole ass. I don't even know who you are. That ass. Motherfucker got
Yeah,
Thanos.
no, those are the only things I mean, the, I love the show. The show's overall the story's good. It's
Yeah,
just the movie felt a little
the movie was
jerky
the
around in
movie.
certain spots.
I hold the movie akin to Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, where it's just a cash grab. It was a, you know what?
Yeah.
People want to end this story, or we're gonna stop leaving shit up to suspense and like take all the fun out of it, as far as the suspense portion, and just punch you smack in the jaw with the forced narrative that we're gonna shove down your throat. Like just rip the jaw and just like it's absolutely
I did
ridiculous.
well, I liked how the thing I liked about the movie was it was in my opinion it was pretty like well, when like they were all basically kissing him except Itsuki, like they were showing all their perspectives, and then each one of them kissed him.
Yeah,
Each time I was like, well, shit, now they're just making it even harder. So I did like that. That was a good kind
yeah.
of teaser.
It was a cool
And
little
well, I
teaser.
mean, shit, if I was Futuro and Miku did that kind of shit,
He's like,
getting
hey girl.
it'd have been a different story on that rooftop. That's all I can say.
Like I said, she would have been a pregnant quintuplet in this bitch. Time for this shit. Thanks for the follow, Insufferable.
Or should I miss that one?
Out here missing it, terrible. The
I'm just
worst.
not paying attention. I'm so busy. I got distracted by the thinking about the scene with Miku.
I figured you get distracted by the show with Nino. I was like, what?
Well, shit
Uh,
hers too, bro.
that show was wild. Like, ma'am, please.
And then, well, it's Ichika was like doing it, and I was like, no, slap that bitch,
Yeah,
get her out of there.
exactly. Get that bitch out of here. We don't need none of that.
And then
And
Yotsuba
cut.
did too, and I was like, no, irrelevant, get her out of here.
Yeah, right. It
We
was
need
like,
that.
I mean, Yotsuba's cool people. Like, she'd be a dope ass friend, but nah, right? Like just because she's super spacey, like all the time,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it was like, oh no, she's actually got a really big heart, and we got to take
I mean,
care of
she's had
her.
that. That's always been her character. She's had the
Exactly.
big heart, and
She's
but
the
don't
jock
give a
with the
fuck.
big heart. And it's like, okay, cool. You're a jock with a big heart. That's awesome. That's great. You're a dope ass character all around. I enjoyed Yotsuba's character. And then they were just like, hey, by the way, yeah, Futo's gonna choose her. No ifs, ands, or buts. No, it wasn't even a surprise because we already knew he was chasing the person that he basically went on a kid date with, supposedly 5 years prior. So
Was it 5?
yeah, it's
Oh,
supposed to be
older
5
than
years
I don't forgot
prior.
how old they were on.
They were like 10. Yeah, it looked like they were like 7, but they were like 10.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm like,
Yeah.
dog.
Either way, if you haven't figured it out yet, dumbass Futuro, and I will. Nobody can convince me otherwise.
100%.
Dumbass picked fucking Yotsuba.
Yep.
The biggest bullshit I
Yep.
have ever seen. This writer can go screw himself for doing that to us.
Like
I will
the
hear no
no
Yotsuba
objections.
support for
Uh
this.
Again, Yotsuba, great character. Not who I would expect and not really deserving of the she did
Not best
again.
girl.
Yeah, again, she didn't do any actual work towards it. And I guess that's where they were going with that. Like, oh, she wasn't forcing her love on Futaro, but it's like at the same time, that was the whole Sheboygan. Like Itsuki wasn't fucking forcing her love on Futaro, but she was a damn good contender for like
Well, but
who he
see, she was
decided
kind of
to.
the next one where I was like, I don't think she'll get picked either because they kind of slowly pulled her away from the more
That
romantic.
was
She
the
kind of became
problem. It was
more of
like,
the
yeah,
mom.
exactly. They that's what irritated me. It was that like they just went, hey, she for sure,
Itsuki was the mom, Yotsuba was the child, and
exactly.
then Miku and Nino and Ichiko were kind of the love interests
Yeah,
that I felt were the true love interests.
exactly. I was like, it's gonna be one of them, and absolutely last resort it will be Itsuki, but Yotsuba was not even in the running for that.
Yeah, Futuro was just a little
Thanks
bitch.
for the follow, Colonel.
Can't convince me otherwise.
But
Just
yeah,
a
I'm like,
little bitch.
yeah, I was like, that's okay, sure. Like, I don't see it. This is even after even at the wedding, like
Yeah,
there was no like chemistry there. So it's like,
it
okay,
upsets me
yeah, there was
so
zero
much.
chemistry. There was so much chemistry between him and Miku. Like that
Well,
shit
because
was
like when
cute
they
as
did the
fuck.
dates, when they finally announced it, and then he picked her at the end of the festival, and then they did their like date thing.
Yeah,
It was just it's like no, they have no.
yeah.
I don't think they got chemistry. Like
They don't. Him and Yotsuba
Miku
have
and
zero
I mean
chemistry. Him and Miku have.
Miku's best girl just because Miku's best girl, but I think Nino probably had the best chemistry with him as far as like just all the things they had been through the arguments, the fighting,
True.
the fake the fake cousin of his and that
Yeah,
scary episode
this
and
shit was
like just all
hilarious.
that shit. It's like they've been through the motorcycle rides and shit, and she was the
Yeah,
first one to confess. I was like, she's got the best
she had the greatest character
romantic
development.
relationship with him.
Yeah, she had the best
Yeah.
character development as well as the most in-depth relationship with him once she told him that she had feelings for him. And she
Yeah.
didn't have to tell him. She chose to tell him
Yeah,
twice
exactly.
because his dumbass didn't hear on the bike. So
Yeah. That's so pretty funny.
yeah,
But yeah, best
I'm like,
characters.
she had the greatest, most expansive, most diverse character development out of every single one of them. And it's like, fuck that. And then same with
Get over
Miku.
it.
Yeah, same with Miku. She had an outstanding character arc. Yeah, she went from like super shy and mousy and like hella reclusive to standing up for herself to
Yeah.
hey, I don't know how to do this thing, so instead of me just being like, I'm not even gonna fucking attempt it, I'm gonna
But
get
just the
really fucking
fact
good
that
at
when
it.
she
Like,
basically mounted Futuro and would kissed him is like
yeah,
that's not even in her personality. So it's like it's
correct.
obvious like that was growth for her to actually kind of
Yeah, to step out of her shell and go, no, I'm going to fight for you because I love you and I want to be with you.
Ew.
And I was like, okay, I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like her and Nino, 1000% had the best character arc. Like Itsuki was pretty predictable of like I hate you or like oil and water, but at the same time like you're pretty. I don't know what it is. I just have feelings all of a sudden.
Yeah,
You know
hers was kind. She's like the only one who didn't kiss him though, which I was like, that's fine because it didn't fit either,
exactly.
in my
It
opinion.
made sense as to why they didn't
It's,
kiss, right? And
right.
so that was
Ichika's
something.
just the bitch that's trying to
Yeah,
backstab everyone. But
exactly. Like bitch, go do some acting. Not for
yeah,
that.
go get you. Yeah,
Go get you another
get
movie.
out of here. When he confessed to Yotsuba that he picked her, and then she started running away, I was like, yes, keep running, get out of there.
Keep running, you fast motherfucker.
Yeah, don't come back.
Oh my god. Yeah, she was like,
Good
no.
good choice.
She goes, why did you pick me? What? Nah.
She's like, why'd you pick me? All my sisters are better for you. It's like, yes, you are correct.
Yeah,
I'm glad somebody knows.
as she was saying the shit, I was waiting for him to be like absolutely correct, but like,
Absolutely. All right, let me go pick someone else, please, dude. I think
oh my
after he
god,
picked Yotsuba, dude, I was just jaw dropped because when the first scene that happened was, I think it was Miku walking into Nino's room, so that means he didn't pick either one of those, and I was like,
yeah, I saw that and I
well,
was like,
this is
oh
bullshit. I
no,
already knew I was going to be pissed after that.
yeah, I was like, once I
Yeah,
saw her
after
fucking
he,
open the door and walk in, I was like, oh no, bro,
well, it was that first 5 seconds of like, oh, he picked Ninu, the door open, and then
yeah,
it was Miku, and I was like, okay, so now neither one of them got picked. Now I'm mad.
100%.
It's gonna be one of the three that I don't want.
I was like, well, I knew it wasn't gonna be Ichika, be that for a fact, and I was like, well, maybe they do the thing where it's like, Itsuki. Nah, they wouldn't
I
do
would have been
that. You
okay with
know,
Itsuki.
like
I wouldn't have been upset. I would have disagreed, but I wouldn't have been upset. I'd been like,
yeah, I would have been like, okay, it's sure, right?
I mean, she didn't have the chemistry with him, but at the same time, she was okay.
Yeah.
I could have seen it like as like a, I don't know. They had more chemistry in the beginning of the show, and then it kind of faded off. So I could have kind of
Honestly,
seen it, but
I liked their growth together because she basically became part of the family more than any other
yeah,
of the sisters. Like,
that's kind of where I could see. Okay, maybe then
yeah,
that's where that
that's
comes in.
exactly, and that's why she was still like kind of top three.
Yeah,
Because of that shit. It was because like she's pretty much already part of the family. His actual sister calls her big sister already, so
yeah,
I was like, okay, well, she's constantly over at his place, knowing that he's poor as fuck. She's always over there, and I'm like, okay, well, she's looking past his quote unquote issues, right? So it's like, all
yeah,
right, well, then obviously they're gonna be together, right? No, they were like, nope. Here's what we're gonna do.
yeah.
Everything that you thought, fuck that shit. Like
Writer, the quintuplets just gave everyone a big middle finger with this ending.
100%, because I I'm sitting here, I was watching it, I was on my computer, I was watching it, I was like, okay, okay, and he's like, I choose you, and she's like, you fucking what? Like,
So, how far did you throw your phone
you
or your
know,
computer?
it wouldn't have gone very far. I just kind of I paused it and
Chuck
I
the
walked off
laptop.
to go piss. So I was just like, I don't even know if I want to finish this. Like,
That's how I felt, dude. I
yeah,
think I verbalized that too when I was watching. It's like, I don't want to finish this. I'm done.
yeah, it's like
Fuck this.
I was like, clearly I don't give a fuck. So cool, but like the thing that irritated me more, just as a quick aside, that way we can get through our normal category. Story development, as you see, not a
We've already
fan.
been
It's
bitching
tied,
about
yeah.
story development the whole time.
That's just tied into character development on this one because a lot of it doesn't make any sense. And then
Just wrapping the story up.
animation, we can sum that up in one word: same. If you don't know what we mean by
It's
same, go back to the season one episode.
not. Yeah, check out the other episodes. Not really relevant for this.
Yeah, not really relevant for this, but yeah, back to what I was saying. So the pacing strange, the revelations strange, the fucking wedding itself made no goddamn sense because like every single one of the sisters is crying as he's like picking them accurately, right? And then it gets to Yotsuba, and
Yeah, it's like,
she's like,
so
hi.
why not marry all of them? Shit.
Yeah, like they're all like, oh my god, that's so sweet.
Because the
You said
whole
something
basis
nice about
behind their
me.
story is you can distinguish them because of love. So it's
Correct.
like, okay, so you're telling me because you can distinguish all of them, like it'd be different if he could just pick out Yotsuba, and that's the only one he could figure out.
Exactly.
But it's like he can figure out all of them, so it's like, so you love all of them. How awkward is Thanksgiving going to be for? Well, they don't probably they don't do that in
100%.
Japan, but how
Like
awkward is it going to
thousand
be the
percent.
rest of your life to? Which would have been no matter what. That's why the correct answer is all of them, but because
They would have never done that. Like they
no, I
force
know, but
they
that's the
forcibly
right
broke up
answer.
the
That's what my soul tells me is the right answer.
they
All of
forcibly
them.
broke up the harem because they were like, we got to end it on a nice, cool, sweet note and tie it in a nice, neat little bow. Except the bow was too short, so they couldn't make the bow, and it wasn't neat because it got crumpled up in the fucking process of getting it from point A to point B. That's how irritated I am with that shit. Just like, guys, please.
Plus side for
Thanks for the
Futaro is
follow,
he has
artistic.
4 other options if things don't work out.
Yeah, I know. Like he's like, well, Yotsuba was a hit and a miss. What's going on over there, fucking Miku? Like, you know, they're all sitting there frothing at the
Yotsuba,
mouth,
you
like,
can't fucking cook worth a shit. Where's your sister?
right? So I thought about that too. Whenever I got done watching the movie, I was like, we've never seen her attempt to cook.
Yeah,
Holy
all she does is
shit!
run.
Yeah, like she's just incredibly athletic. Like the
But I
stamina
guess they got
of
money,
a
so they can just do whatever.
oh for sure. Like
But yeah, dude.
it's just like come
You
on.
know what really grinds my gears?
I hate
This shit.
stories that are really good. Like I have never.
Yeah.
It's very rare for me to like just keep tapping next on a fucking show, right? And not be like, all right, I'm gonna cut myself off after like 2 or 3 episodes. Very rare for me to continuously watch the shit. I blew through season 1. I blew through season 2. After the movie, and I was like, what the fuck's taking so long? Like,
Son of a bitch.
yeah, and then he got to the bullshit of him and his
Yeah.
revelation. His, I pick
They
you.
they basically best way I can describe is the Game of Thrones this shit.
Yeah,
Like
like,
amazing show. I love the story. I was into all the characters, and then they screwed it at the end.
yep.
Just completely screwed it. You know that meme where the drawing of the beautiful horse and then the end looks like
Yes,
a
and then
2-year-old kid?
yes,
That
exactly.
shit.
That's exactly what
That's
I was
what this
thinking.
is.
Yep. Yeah, it makes
I
sense
am
too. Like I
I'm still
just
not over it to this day, and just talking about it now has brought it back up to the top.
it's not on Soul Eater levels of irritation and just straight rage. As far as the ending is concerned, garbage. Bravery, you can fuck off. But it's up there. It's a not too distant second for that shit because that'll forever top my irritation at the ending of a show. Like, yeah, the overall experience was okay. Like the animation's been okay, you know, the entire time. The character development in some instances was actually really fucking good, and in others, the
There were
concept
some
of
glitches at the end, but overall it was
yeah,
fun. It was good.
the concept to me as far as like a negative is these they kept showing these dudes that he became friends with. Futaro became friends with. They kept showing Sparkly
Sparkles.
dude and the other dude, right? Fucking goddamn Sparkles, yeah. Fucking Edward Cullen's wannabe great value fucking wish.com looking. Uh but yeah, so they keep showing them, right? And then like in his dream, they showed them at the wedding, right? They never got into that. They never got into who the fuck they found or started dating or that they married on themselves. Like they're all supposed to be best friends. Why do we not go into that? And it's like they're side characters, yes, but
I don't care about them.
I cared about them. They were interesting characters as far as like Futaro was a very stoic individual, and then all of a sudden he has friends, right? And so it's like, oh, cool. They look past that and see that he can be human and he does human shit. Okay, cool. Like I like that aspect. They're very distant supporting characters, but they're close enough to where it's like, okay, it makes the world seem a little more human and not so focused on solely him and the Quints. Like it pulls it back a little bit, you know.
I guess.
But yeah, the overall for me, if I'm gonna score this motherfucker, I'm gonna give it solid for the movie. I'll get my rating
Movie
for the
alone. Okay.
movie alone, and then I'll get my overall for the series.
Right.
For the movie, I'm gonna give it a 6. Um, the weird bouncing between timelines thing, poorly executed. The lack of introduction of their bio dad until literally 35 minutes before the end of the fucking movie, dumb as shit. The terrible fucking character development at the very end there. The the very
The
awkward
terrible
pacing.
ending.
Yeah, the terrible ending, the awkward pacing, trying to get everything to get to that point. It was like somebody was just like dragging along the plot, like please, you know. And it, yeah, like the good things, Nino and her character development, the fact that her and Miku opened up their own little cafe, um, the the fact that Itsuki did end up becoming a teacher like she wanted to. She met her dream, although it sucked because we didn't get to see her celebrate that achievement. That was something that would have been dope to be like, hey, here's where they are. Here's where they all are now. Say that 10 times fast.
It did kind of in just a quick.
Yeah, like,
The
but
bakery. Oh, I'm a teacher. Oh,
yeah, it
I'm
just
in
like
Hollywood, America.
okay, cool, there we go. It was like rapid fire, 10 seconds, and they were like, okay, they're all rich and successful and powerful and cool, and yeah, okay, wedding time. Like, instead of, I would have liked to have seen, even if it was like 2 minutes, just like a quick snippet, like them getting to that point, right? Them sitting there and actually, Ichika, as much as like she can fuck off, her getting that big role that led her to Hollywood, right? Itsuki,
Yeah.
um, that her checking her score and being super nervous about it, opening the letter and being like, "Congratulations, you passed your final test to become a teacher," or whatever the fuck, right? That would have been dope. Um, Yotsuba doing some like decathlon or some shit and coming in first because that's all she really does. Is just extremely ridiculous in sports. That would have been dope. Fucking, and then Miku and Nino, whenever they finally, the first day that they open their cafe and it's just all the rage in the town or whatever the fuck, that would have been dope. I would have loved to see that shit, and then them still sit there and be like, but as we've always said, we're one piece of a whole or whatever the fuck, so we're always gonna come back together because we're sisters, and then them come back together at the wedding. That's fucking sensational fucking ending for me. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to look past the whole Yotsuba shit if they would have done that, because it would have been, hey, where are they now? Before the wedding, like there's a little bit of depth added there at the end instead of it just being this super vapid like, okay, they all have fucking cool jobs and shit now. Okay, bye. Like, it just as far as overall, I give it an. It's a good 8. 7.5 to 8. I'll give it an 8 though. I'll lean it towards the 8 because of the fact that, again, there are a lot of really good things. A lot of things that they do really well. There's some things in portions of the overall package that are just complete ball drops. Like, absolute ball drops.
Yeah. I'm speechless. I will say one thing before I do all the summary stuff. It was kind of weird after the wedding when they were all trying to pick a honeymoon location. It's like, so are you doing the harem or not?
Thank you. I'm like, wait, y'all are married now. Are we just gonna continue the harem as if nothing changed here, or what? Like,
what's my sister's is mine. What's mine is my sister's too.
dropped on draws, Futaro. Look at that.
I'm sure there's some stuff on the internet that's.
Oh my god, hey, as the saying goes, Rule 34, Chief. Like,
Yeah. Either way, kind of like you said, movie was a little jumpy in some spots, some unnecessary stuff, but overall, I like all the characters. The story overall is a good story.
yeah,
I don't
shit
agree
the
with
bed
the
at the
ending.
end. Yeah,
I don't
good
think I ever
story,
will.
shit itself at the end. Like,
Yeah, yeah. The movie was, I think, 7 out of 10 for me. Like I said, just a few jumpy things that kind of brought it down, and then the ending kind of dropped a whole point. If it would have been Ichiki, the movie would have been like a fucking 4 because that would have pissed me off because she's a bitch. But Yeah, I agree with you on overall though. Overall show would have been it's 8. It's a
Yeah,
good it's like I said,
it's a
it's like
it's a good hearty watch. There are parts that if you're an emotional person, you're gonna be like, oh my god. There's parts that like you just go, you stupid bitch, like.
what are you doing? Yeah, it pulls you in directions, which is always good
Like
writing and a good story.
it's a good roller coaster. That's why I was so disappointed with the movie. Like is
Yeah.
they did season 1 and 2, beautiful, just sensational work, man. And then they got to the movie and they went, "Hey, is that a bed over there? Better take a shit in it." Like, God.
All right.
Oh shit!
But
Oh
yeah,
shit! Is that Johnny over there? But yeah,
great
like,
show with such disappointment, and I can't hate on. Okay, to the credit to I can't hate on Yotsuba as hard as I would hate on Ichika. Like I said, I
yeah,
disagree with Yotsuba. She was number 4,
yeah,
but
full on
I
number
will give
four.
the fact that she was a nice character and a really good person. Okay,
Yeah,
she deserves
I
to
was like,
win.
I understood the concept of she was the most well-rounded
It's her
personality out of all of them.
most
But
most irrelevant romantically. Good
correct,
character, but most irrelevant romantically, in my
100%.
opinion.
Even whenever they were both like, "Yeah, I love you," and "Yeah, I love you too," it was like, okay, we'll figure
It
that
was
out
like, oh,
later.
well, it's the twist. It's the twist nobody expected. It's like, no, it's nobody
No,
wanted it.
yeah, it's not that nobody expected it exactly. Nobody really wanted it. It was like there's so many other options out there. We know that she was the girl that he sat there went on the date whenever they were a kid or kids. We know that. We've known that for a while now. That doesn't mean that she had to be the one for him to marry. Like that's just laziness. As if he
Yeah,
didn't have emotion
and if
for
you wanted
fucking
it,
Miku.
you're wrong.
Yeah, if you wanted Yotsuba and you were like, oh yeah, she's got to win this, the fuck were you watching? Like she whole ass wasn't even the focus of a lot of shit. She flat out wasn't in some episodes, if I'm not mistaken, like except briefly, like towards the end of them. So it's like it doesn't make sense whatsoever. Like it's enough shitting on the show. It's a good show overall. Just that movie.
Just
Yeah, it's just you see
it's just
something
one of
so
those.
good, you watch something so good, and then you see it fly too close to the sun, and you damn dog, like like damn.
I'm just live my life pretending that didn't happen.
Pretty much. I'm gonna pretend that the movie doesn't exist and that that Miku won, obviously, because duh, right? Like
Miku's best girl.
Miku's best girl. But yeah, I believe that's gonna do it. Pluggables time. Yeah, my
If you made it this far, thanks a lot. Uh, YouTube, Chill Vanilla Podcast. That's where you can catch all the episodes you missed. Uh, if you're on YouTube and you want to catch us live and chat with us, we're nice people. We talk to you
yep.
if you say stuff. Twitch.tv/chillvanilla5, 7:30 Central Standard Time every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, unless we say otherwise.
Right.
So join us, hang out, listen to our amazing opinions. Audio versions, anchor.fm/chillvanilla. If you want to make it really easy, just hit the QR code on the screen. If you're listening on audio, go to a YouTube video and hit the QR code. And chill with your boys.
Indeed. There is, before we head out of here, I want to make an announcement. I am having surgery about mid-April. So we won't be streaming. However, there will be episodes.
We'll be having
Thanks for the
YouTube
follow,
episodes.
Yeah, we'll have episodes up on YouTube. They'll be pre-recorded, obviously, because your boy got to do the whole healing thing and whatnot, so I can come back and y'all can hear this beautiful voice
little
live.
bitch with a bad back.
Hey man, look, sometimes you fucking blow out 2 discs in your back, and the doctor's got to go
I
in there.
didn't mean to blow your back out.
Hey man, look, sometimes you just get a little rough, bro. Be gentle, dog.
I thought you liked it that way. We have a safe word,
It's too long. Yeah, we'll probably be back live, I'm gonna be optimistic and say 4 to 5 weeks afterwards. If not, then it'll probably be 6 at a minimum before we're back live.
Either way, we'll have
Yeah,
social
we'll
media
still have
posts
content up. Yeah,
when we
you'll
go
still
live,
see.
and
Yeah, you'll still see all of our shit on the interwebs because it's awesome like that. Yeah, with that,
yeah,
we're gonna go and
that
get
is
the.
all.
Yep,
Go
we're
watch
going
the
to get
show
the
if you
fuck out of
haven't. If you
here.
made it this far and you got spoiled, then I'm sorry, but
Yeah, if you made it this far and
you haven't watched it, then
you haven't watched it, that's fucking unfortunate for you. But I honestly, we might have saved you the headache of not watching the movie.
saved you some emotional
Yeah,
trauma.
saved you 2 hours and 16 minutes of the movie. That way, you could just enjoy the greatness that is season one. Just
Yeah.
saying. So, yeah, we're gonna go and get out of here. We'll catch y'all next week. Peace.
Yeah, there.